Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's your host, CJ, Real Talk News, and it is still Tuesday, October 23rd, 2021. If you thought that the rolling blackouts in Texas and the other southern and mid-southern states were just a event that is going to be taking place there, I'm sorry to bust your bubble, but it's most likely not. Before I continue, I am sharing this over to YouTube, so if there's any people on Spreaker that like what I do, please go to my YouTube channel, Real Talk News, like, subscribe, and share, and comment. I'll greatly appreciate it. Now, I was listening to a live stream from a couple days ago as I was in my house, and they touched on the rolling blackout situation. As I was hearing them give out the information that they came across, I did my own search. Now, there's a couple headlines that pop up. You just go to Google and you type in, "Get ready for nationwide blackouts." Get ready for rolling blackouts nationwide. And it's some disturbing shit. So I'm going to read one that wouldn't fit in. The one that's linked in here is from CNS News. Now, when CNS News put this out, they worded it and put the verbiage as if Biden was still running to be ruler. But since he's already in place, you can read that one, but it still covers the same thing as what I'm going to read to you now. This is from heartland.org. Get ready for nationwide blackouts under Biden. California's climate and energy policies will bring thousands of blackouts to the entire country. The power disaster unfolding in California will soon occur across the country if Joe Biden gets his way. The Golden State has been sweeping away from the forms of energy that has provided reliable electricity for decades. Under the same agenda, the former vice president is planning for America as a whole. Power outages are now a compliance in California. Last summer, the state suffered its first rolling blackout in nearly 20 years. Imagine this happened in Chicago in the middle of winter. California's trouble is explained by officials who now openly admit to an over-reliance on wind and solar power. The governor said that there was not enough wind to keep the turbines going, while cloud cover and nightfall restricted solar power. The LA Times recognized the root of the problem. Gas-burning power plants that can fire up when the sun isn't shining on the wind isn't blowing have been shutting down in recent years, and California has largely failed to replace them. Consequently, the state has fallen thousands of megawatts behind its needs. As Governor Gavin Newsom admitted, we failed to predict and plan for these shortages and took nominal responsibility for the rolling blackouts. Now he wants everyone to conserve power while the state looks for new sources of energy, most likely fossil fuel generated power from neighboring states. All this is happening while California continues its intention to transition to 60% renewable energy by 2030 and 100% climate-free energy by 2045 as required by state law. Team Biden plans to go even further, committing to making the entire nation 100% renewable within 15 years. The U.S. would fall tens of millions of megawatts behind on its electricity needs. Like the California government, the incoming Biden-Harris administration is acting entirely by the unbound belief that the climate change, or unfounded belief, that climate change is a man-made calamity that can be stopped by limiting fossil fuel use. So what they're telling you is, get ready for rolling blackouts, because we are going to do what we can to get rid of fossil fuels to force submission to greener energy. And to make sure we obtain compliance from the population, the energy sector is going to continue rolling blackouts. Never mind the fact that the tens of thousands of dollars that taxpayers have paid to keep infrastructure going and to repair and modify it, from your roads to your electricity. Now, this should strike concern with a lot of people. Everybody. Because they're telling you in your face that what you see going on in Texas and other parts of the country are going to be a reality, a permanent reality. Which reminds me, a couple months ago, I was watching a YouTube video from a YouTuber who is in SoCal, and they would mirror videos from everyday people down in SoCal, especially in Edison County in Southern California. And what the Edison Power Department was doing was conducting rolling blackouts. And a lot of the residents there were pissed because they were doing this under the guise of preventing the ridiculous, fabricated lie that PGE was going to commence rolling blackouts to reduce the factor of wildfires in the state. Because if you're not aware, they've had a lot of lawsuits thrown upon them the last couple of years because of that fact. So they came up with a great idea. Let's do rolling blackouts so that the power grid, when it's at its beyond its peak operating temperature, has a chance to cool down and then start it back up again once it's reached a temperature they deem desirable. So, Edison Electric followed suit. There was no reason, there was no need for them to do so, but they did it anyway. While they were doing it, they barely provided assistance to the residents within that area on energy needs. There were a lot of homes that didn't have power whatsoever. A lot of people had to go out of their way to charge their phones and devices and chargers and what have you. The power was cut off in their home. For an apparent lie. And last time I checked up on it, those residents are filing a lawsuit against the Edison Power District in their area. But with the article that I read, I didn't cover all of it. You can read on if you like. And the one from CNS News, because I was only able to put one link in there due to spacing, is almost the exact same article, word for word. But you're not seeing this covered anywhere in the mainstream press. And again, if you didn't watch my survival tips video, please do. Because as I'm doing that video, not only do I give you an example of important, needed, and essential survival equipment, but also touch on the fact that government does not give a shit about you. Not at the state level, definitely not at the federal level. Now, granted, there might be a handful of people that work in government that have good morals, that want to do the actual right thing and try to put a hold to agendas being carried out. But they're outnumbered. And also remember this. You can't be on the good side and take on the evil by yourself. Because it'll break you down. But doesn't matter who is in the White House. Republican, Democrat, Trump, Biden. Don't matter. Does not matter. And he's seen the shit and heard the things that are going on in Texas with the blame game. And what's going on there. So if you haven't already, be prepared for anything and everything. Don't just watch my survival video. I'm going to do more. But there's a ton out there. From every level. That will give you another fighting chance. If you take the tips. Be ready. God bless. It's almost crunch time. Peace.